You're trash.
You're garbage.
Noob.
You're free.
You're terrible.
You suck.
Play this game?
Get good, bro.
Trash.
Get good.
Get good.
Get good.
Get good.
Get good.
Get good. An intentional misspelling of get good, intended to heckle an inexperienced player or someone asking for help online. We've all seen it. Name your forum. Someone looking for the solution to a difficult boss fight or wanting to figure out a certain combo, only to be met with 6 letters. Get good. The subset of games where I see this get good response pop up more frequently is in the fighting game genre. And I can hardly blame people for responding like that. Fighting games are full of deep mechanics and complex systems. Why bother explaining it to a beginner who's not even going to understand what you're saying anyway? Get good should suffice. My first memory of fighting games goes back to the 90s. Sitting around the TV with my older cousins playing Mortal Kombat 2. I remember the smell of Thanksgiving dinner cooking upstairs. My ears always tuned to listen for my parents' footsteps coming down so I could act like I wasn't watching this guy get his spine ripped out. Rated M games were not allowed at my household, that's for sure. I was used to playing games like Mario, Kirby, Croc. This was like nothing I'd ever seen before. I was fascinated by the spectacle, but I was definitely not good. From that point, I started getting more interested in things like Final Fantasy and JRPGs. There would be the occasional Tekken match at a friend's house or playing Street Fighter 2, but I would always get destroyed by my friends. I was horrible. Getting beaten down every time I wanted to play just wasn't fun for me, and I could never get into it. Until I picked up a copy of Soulcalibur 2 and 3. Those games were incredible to me. It was like finding a treasure trove. I got so in-depth in those single-player modes in Soulcalibur 3, the character creator, the Tale of Souls, the Chronicles of the Sword. I got hours of endless entertainment from that. I thought I was a beast at those games. I would hurriedly grab all my gear and controller in the game and bring it over to a friend's house. We'd all get ready to sit down to play, and I was ready to finally be the one that would do the dominating. That dream died when my friends started spamming long-range attacks over and over again, that despite everything that I had learned, I just couldn't come up with a counter for it fast enough. I still had fun and played well, but I just didn't have the success that I wanted to, despite pouring hours and hours into the game. Going into high school, this is where I started playing more MMOs, online games, MOBAs, the League of Legends, Dotas of the world. My parents got a little lighter on some of their rated M restrictions for us, and I could start playing FPS games, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike. And I got pretty good at those games, but I was still terrible at fighting games. When I was in college, Street Fighter 4 came out. My best friend was huge into Street Fighter. He would invite me over to his dorm to play every day. And every day, I got destroyed. It was at this time that I started running into that get good response online. I was searching the internet for ways to counter my friend's character. I was trying to beat the final boss, Seth. He's so hard, how do I beat him? Get good. For a broke college student, there were no great free beginner guides on how to get good at fighting games. More time passed, and between work and school, I just didn't have as much time for my gaming hobby anymore. I tried to squeeze in a few games wherever I could. I picked up Blaze Blue and became a fan of Arc System Works. I loved the game, played the story mode for hours, but whenever I tried to go online, I would just get crushed. I discovered the fighting game community through watching streams of Smash Melee tournaments online and watching EVO, seeing the big stage, the hype crowds, the electrifying tournament moments. I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be up on that stage. But in the back of my mind, I heard these voices.
Wow, you're so
Who
bad.
let this guy in here?
I thought you played this game.
You suck.
Why are you here?
What a
Why did you
scrub.
bother
This
coming?
dude is horrible.
Get out of
I
here.
can't be a part of this. I'm terrible at fighting games. Why would anyone want to play with somebody like me? I would just be wasting their time. I could never play in a tournament. I can't even play online. I always lose. In reading posts online and watching other videos from the community, I found that I'm not the only one that feels this way. It took a lot of time, but I finally decided to face these feelings that were holding me back, at least in small chunks. I decided to attend Frosty Fausting's 2020. I didn't enter in any tournaments, and the only games I played were demos for Guilty Gear Strive and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. But even still, I had an amazing time. There were so many intense tournament moments, and I got to meet so many great people. I realized that everything that I had been feeling, these fears and anxieties, the thoughts about me not being good enough, were just holding me back from participating in something that I could really enjoy. It was that realization at Frosty Fausting's 2020 that gave me the idea for this YouTube channel. I want to create a collection of easy-to-understand fighting game information for beginners and arrange it in a step-by-step fashion that they can follow along with to get good. Now, this isn't going to be something that's going to help that pro player take the next step to becoming the tournament champ, but this could help lower that barrier of entry to get into fighting games and help people face those same anxieties that I was feeling about getting started. I know that I'm terrible at fighting games, but my hope is that I can conquer that terribleness, become King Terrible, and help other players get good. When learning anything, it's important to set goals for yourself. My first goal is going to be to enter and play in a tournament match at Frosty Fausting's 2022. Mark your calendars for January 28th and 29th in Lombard, Illinois. Now, my goal here is not necessarily to win a match, but this is more to help me get over my fear of playing on a tournament stage. I was going to do this for 2021, but we know how 2020 turned out.
Tonight, the governor of Washington declaring a state of emergency after the first known coronavirus death in the U.S.
Limiting travel and large meetings, allowing workers to telework.
As the almighty YouTube algorithm dictates, please like and subscribe to this channel if you want to follow me on my fighting game journey. Comment down below if you've got a similar story or if there's any topics you want me to cover in another video. I want to use this channel for sketches, reviews, tutorials for other games as well. And hey, next time you see somebody get hit with a get good in a comment section or forum somewhere, send them a link to this channel. That's all for now. I'm King Terrible, signing off.